Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a strange edition of the Golf DMV podcast. Super strange. So if it looks like I'm in a car, it's because I am in a car. I'm in a car outside of my house.
His own house.
My own house, because my mother-in-law and mutual friend of the show, Brenda Gilbert, and it's really my mother-in-law, but Brenda's kind of like an accomplice to this. She's helping my mother-in-law with a filming project. One of the scenes is filmed at, well, not one, like four of the scenes. They're filming at my house. They have been there since 9 a.m. It is now past 8 o'clock in the evening, and they're still filming. And very few people have left the house. I brought snacks and water, and I catered. I'm just being a nice son-in-law, and these people are still in my house. Nothing against the people or my mother-in-law or Brenda. I love everybody. It's just I don't understand why you're in my house. I don't understand. Like it's 9 o'clock. What's the So anyway, I don't know what the holdup is. But anyway, I am in a car. It's going to make the rest of the show interesting on video because it gets dark after 8. And so it's going to
it's 8:20 now.
Yes. During the show, it's going to continuously get darker. And I must be out of range from my home's Wi-Fi because I had my microphone and the laptop out here to bring you great quality as you're used to hearing here on the Golf DMV podcast, but it started to stall and I was freezing up. And so I'm using my phone. And so if it sounds like, I'm on a phone, it's because I'm on a phone. Vernon comes on and there's some stuff with his microphone and he sounds like a robot for a while. First of all, he came on looking very distraught.
Right.
I was. I didn't have time to get my YouTube set up. I'm recording also just on the Mac laptop computer. I don't know what the hell that sounds like, if it sounds any good or not. So it's just, this is the quality you come to Golf TV for.
Exactly. So we've got all kinds of situations going on here, but it's okay. We'll push through it. And to be honest with you, this show may never make air. It may never make it, but we'll see what
what happens. Yes.
Like. Here's the thing: if you're listening to this, then it made it. Okay,
yeah,
if you're listening to it, it made it. So anyway, lots to talk about, and here's why we have to do a show. We have to do a show for two reasons. Number one, we played Bull Run. Shout out to Mike Tate, GM there at Bull Run. We also sat down and spoke to him. You'll hear some of that interview here in the podcast, and we played the course. So we want to do a full course review, and then also Lucas Glover won. And so
Lucas don't hit me no more, Glover.
Well, that's the thing. And so LB's got the Manny Millions, but I'm wondering if we can do a quick search to see how much he won for winning this tournament.
Oh, I got that. Yeah, go ahead.
That's as the rapper Bia says, it's a whole lot of money. And so he just won a whole lot of money. And I'm assuming that his wife will at least treat him right, and his mother, her mother-in-law will treat them both right for, at least the rest of the year. Because again, as the rapper Bia said, it's a whole lot of money in this blankety blankety blank. So and he just won a whole lot of money. How much did he win, LB?
It's pulling up right now because you asked immediately. It's not scrolling down right now, okay. But I'm going to assume it's right around 1.1. I'm waiting for it to show up here, and it's still spinning.
Okay.
The show.
Again, well, this is the type of show we're having today. I mean, obviously, this is the type of show.
Here we go. I'm sorry. Here we go. Okay. $1,116,000.
Okay, so 1.1, like you said.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, if a guy getting his ass kicked, that's real good.
Meanwhile, we had a chance to ride down 66 to play Bull Run Saturday morning. We had 8 folks out. We got a chance to see Charles and Coach B. Yes. Rick McCormick was out. Who else was out? Glenn was out. Us three.
Aaron.
I'm missing. Oh, and Aaron.
Yep.
My first time seeing Aaron since Pinehurst. You feel like when you take a trip like that, you've gained a brother, and it's like I feel like it's good to see Aaron again as always. It's always good to see. And it's always good to see everybody. Good to see Coach B. Good to see Charles. Those guys are always good to hang out with. And so when it comes to Bull Run, we're coming down there. I didn't have any expectations. I'll be honest. No, actually. Because of where it is, I didn't expect it to be in bad condition. I expected the course to be in good condition, and the course was in excellent condition. Yeah. Here's what's interesting about Bull Run for me. Like the course itself, great condition, easy layout, nothing super challenging about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for some reason, being like the experience of being there, and I mean, we've got a great group of guys that we play with, so maybe that has a lot to do with it. But the experience of being there was really top notch. I felt, you know what I mean? Yeah. The staff was super friendly. Mm-hmm. Everybody had jokes. They had smiles on their faces. Shout out to Sage. She was on the cart the first go around. Mm-hmm. And she said, "This is early. I don't have any liquor on my cart." But the liquor girl's coming around
at 10 a.m. Yep. We was like, yes, send her by.
Yeah, so she gave us the liquor schedule, which was great. And so yeah, shout out to Sage, tell her we'd shout her out. But yeah, everybody was nice. It's funny because as we're playing the course, we were trying to find a course to compare it to up close to where we live, the Montgomery County, PG County area. And we're trying to figure out, okay, we thought of a few. And as you're playing it, you're like, okay, each course has those signature holes and memorable holes. 18 was kind of memorable to me because I got on a par 5. But 18 had some character. But the rest, I'm not sure if there was. But after the round, I was like, I really enjoyed playing here. You know what I mean? It was something that I appreciated after the experience, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And
who's gonna go first, me or Vern? I'm sorry.
Let's go with Lawrence. So let's go with Lawrence. You go, Lawrence.
Okay. Yeah. First, definitely shout out Mike Tate for inviting us out.
Absolutely.
He definitely rolled the red carpet out for us to play at that course. When we finished, I'm gonna jump all around, but when we finished, we go in to eat. We were ordering foods and stuff. I ordered a drink, and Mike comes in behind me and said, "Hey, everybody's drinks on first round is on me." Hey, what more can you say for a person who says the drinks are on him? Well, it turns out I got 2 drinks because somebody in our group didn't get a drink, so I got an extra drink. So I'm extra happy. So I had one for the road. But yeah, really nice course. A couple of things I will point out: the practice area, really, really nice. Yeah, grass tees. In the practice area, they had a whole chipping green specifically for chipping. Had a sand trap over there as well. Did a really nice putting green. Really big. Probably had maybe 6 or 7 different cups to shoot at. So the practice area is top notch. Again, the course was great. I enjoyed the one hole I played one of my worst shots on, which I think is number 12, which was a really short par 4. Y'all remember what all the ducks were, the geese were on it. I duffed my. I enjoyed that hole, even though I screwed it up. But that's a whole different ball game. We will talk about that.
Because it's short, but it's like a dog leg's kind of right.
Dog leg right. Yep. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that. I thought that hole was, especially with the water in the background, I thought it was a nice looking hole, and you had an elevated tee box as well. Can't say anything bad about Bull Run. And we told Mike about this after we interviewed him. He said, "Okay, the cameras are off. Tell me what you really think. Give me your real opinion." And honestly, we didn't have anything really bad to say about the course. Everything was nice. I mean, some of the holes reminded me of Bristol Manor. A few holes reminded me in just the way it was laid out of Bristol Manor. A few holes reminded me of Oak Creek. The only bad thing I could come up with for Mike, and we told him this to his face, so it's not like we say anything behind his back. At least I'm saying behind his back. Was some of the carts were trash. Some of the golf carts were trash. So full disclosure, I was born in '63. So when anybody gives me the opportunity to pick a cart, because normally you go to the course, they just say, "Here, this is your cart," and you take and you go. In some courses, they say, here's the key, go pick a cart. And I go, when they give me that opportunity, I'll walk up and down, I look at the numbers, and I try and find a number that means something to me, whether it's my birth date or, whatever. So I saw 63. I'm like, done deal. I'm taking 63. It was trash.
Every time you hit the gas, it's like, and some hills you gotta you can't.
Yeah, half the time it wouldn't even go up hills. I had to back down hills and neutral or whatever, and then start again. So if you go out there, don't get cart 63. That's the only advice I can give you. And the final thing I'll say, and Vern, you can take it, please, is please check your traffic. If you live in Virginia, then you know about the 66 or did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We live in Maryland. I very seldom go outside the Beltway out 66. I very seldom go that way. And it was Saturday morning. You know, why the hell they got 66 backed up to one lane, down to one lane.
Ridiculous.
On a Saturday morning. I'm like, man, this don't make no sense. It really don't make no sense. So I didn't go back that way. I went the long way around 15 up through Frederick to go back home.
Well, and here's the thing. If it's going to cost more tax dollars for me, I'll pay more in taxes. Just stop doing it. Like,
do this stuff overnight.
Do all of it overnight. Increase my taxes. That's fine.
Well, see, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with what you just said. One, we live in Maryland, so they can't do nothing to my taxes.
I love it.
Yeah. Increase the Virginia people taxes so the 66 is open. The quick side story. I used to, when I was in college, on the summertime, I worked landscaping in the summertime. And we worked on the Dulles Toll Road between 66 and between the Beltway. When they built that road, we did all the land, put in all the trees along that road. That was in 1983-ish.
Right.
Here we are 30 years later, and they still working out there. What the hell are they doing in 66? I don't understand it.
More
nothing.
More
trees. Vern, your thoughts on Bull Run?
So we're gonna have an interview go up later on YouTube, and I'll put some clips up on IG as well with Mike Tate, and he talks about the course. Claude asked him a great question, and I won't step on the entire interview, but he asked him, you know, what's the if you had to describe Bull Run to somebody, you know, how would you describe it? And the first thing he said was player friendly. And I happen to agree with that assessment. When you first pull up, it's really nice. Like when you first pull into the estates, and you get right, you can see the practice green to your right, and then like the big lake or river, whatever it is in the middle, and you got all these holes around. It is, you know, there's nothing like pulling up to a golf course where you have a nice vista and you know you're in good hands immediately. Like you can see a lot of the holes and everything, and I think that's bodes well for the golfer. So he said, player friendly. Number one, and two, the pace of play, which again, this probably falls under player friendly, was really good. Like we moved pretty quickly. I think it done in under 4.5 hours. And yeah, man, like I don't really need to repeat too many, like Claude said, and LB, the whole time we were just trying to compare it to golf courses that we play normally. And it was this amalgam of, like you say, Oak Creek and Laytonsville and all these courses that are sort of in the fun tier, like in the, and I hesitate. It sounds like I'm talking around using the word easy. I hesitate to use the word. I thought about
it wasn't easy. No, it wasn't easy.
Yeah, it's not, yeah. And I want to be clear about that. Like I've been thinking about this lately. You know, labeling golf courses as easy or not hard or whatever. And particularly this one, you can lose the ball sneakily, like Claude and I found out on the back nine.
Yeah.
Before he made 18-2, and we were losing balls out the fairway. I'm just saying, since we were both doing it. Since, you know,
That's right, because you both lost. It was 17 or something, 16.
And before that too. Yeah. But so if you're not careful, there are some tight fairways, and you can lose some stuff. But it is very player friendly. Yeah, you go out there, you have a good time. It's in great shape. Nothing new there. And again, the pace of play was really good. And the service is actually pretty good too for it to be, and not very crowded either. I found for a Saturday at 8 in the morning. Not a ton of traffic. So nice little track to get around. I think a nice once a year type situation for us, maybe to go out to Virginia and visit with Pops and them and hit it. And remember, it's part of the Raspberry Golf Trail. They're going to talk about it with Mike in the interview, like the specifics of like how you can take advantage of that and everything. But you know, you play Raspberry Falls. I know they recently had some trouble. You go out and play Bull Run, Links at Gettysburg. There's like 6 or 7 more courses. I don't remember them all, but we go over that in the other interview. But really nice course, man. I love it. It was good.
Yeah, and shout out to the bartender whose name I don't remember his name.
He was great.
And I don't have. I thought it would be on my receipt, but it's not on the receipt either. But he was cool. I really enjoyed. He made our eating fun. I mean, and drinking as well. But he was a good dude. Nice to talk to him. Rick Rick is Rick.
If I could tie that in really quick with a story from our buddy Glenn. He recently texted me. He texted me the other day, I think, before we went out for this round, and said he's like, I think Diamond Ridge. He's up in Baltimore. For those who don't know, Glenn's up in Baltimore. So he thinks, I think Diamond Ridge is going to be my new home course. Usually he plays at Forest Park. I'm like, well, what's the problem? And I thought it was going to be something with the course. The greens were trash. Nope. It took around 6 hours. No, he said he went in to get. I think he said he ordered a Corona. He said he ordered a Corona. Comes in, the lady hands him like some sort of other, like a Corona seltzer, some off-brand, off version. Now, of course, so he says, he's like, hey, I thought it was Corona.
What I ordered, right?
Yeah, I think I'm going to paraphrase, but she said, look, you asked for Corona. This says Corona on it. This is what I got. And
wow, yeah, that's not good.
And what he said, though, to the point I'm trying to make, what he said at the end was, he said, you know what, it doesn't cost anything to be nice to people. And the bartender at the Bull Run, the service staff at Bull Run, all that, whatever you think of the course, however easy or hard it is, they're always nice. And I think that's a good good contrast there, because he's right. It doesn't cost anything to be nice to people.
Yeah. Well, and that's what Mike Tate was saying. He was like, they're into the experience. We're in the experience business. And when people come out, we want good conditions on the golf course. We want great pace of play, and the staff can be nice. Like that's stuff that we can do. That's stuff that we can control, and they're controlling it, and they're doing it. You know what I mean? And it felt genuine. It didn't feel like people were putting on it feels like they were just genuinely nice people there, and they had enough staff there to cover a busy day. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't as if the grill was busy and they were rushing to try to keep up with everything, or the pro shop was understaffed. The starter was nice. I mean, it was a really good experience. I mean, he's right when he talks about that Bull Run. They wanted it's an experience. It was definitely an experience. Lots of ladies and kids were there as well. I mean, it was, I loved it. It was great.
Right. And just to piggyback on what Claude said about being genuine, if it sounds like we're too effusive with praise, and you may be thinking, did Bull Run pay these guys money? They didn't. They didn't.
No, they didn't.
I swear they didn't. You will know now. Now, I'm not saying that the Golf DMV cannot be bought. If Marlton,
yes, we
can be bought.
Yeah. We have a price. Yes, email me. I can give you the price.
We would be on here like, hey guys, remember we hated Marlton, but now we love it. That's the warning sign when you stop listening, because we've been bought and we've sold out. But it's totally legit, and they were great. Couldn't have been better. I'm glad I played.
Hey, by the way, Mike said that he likes the fact that we're honest about stuff. You know what I mean? And so if we have been bought, we'll tell you we're bought. Like I'm literally telling you to play this course because they paid us to say it, and we think it's not really this great, but we paid, so we're going to tell you that it's great. And so but we weren't paid by Bull Run. But again, it's something that we appreciated more, I feel, after playing it. Like during the round, it was just kind of like, yeah, great, nice course, good conditions. What is this like? What can we compare it to? What are we feeling? And afterwards, it was just like, oh, yeah, this was fun. This was good. Had a good experience. And by the way, for me, it's about an hour away from Silver Spring. How far was it for you, Vern?
About a little long, maybe an hour 10.
Okay, hour 10. I'm assuming right around that same time for you.
Yeah, about the same. Yeah, about 65 miles. Yep.
So not super far. Not super far if you're in Maryland. So if you haven't played Bull Run, I say go play it. If you have played it, play it again. And the facilities are nice indoor. Any golf course that also has showers in the locker room, I'm all for. Because in case you got a tight schedule, you got to get somewhere else. Go ahead and jump in the shower and do what you got to do. So shout out to Bull Run. Thank you so much for having us, Mike. We can't. We loved it. Can't give it a higher praise than what we gave it. Shout out to everybody there. Did I shout out Sage already? I think I did.
Yeah, you did.
And the bartender. Okay, cool. So let's move on to the PGA Tour. Our buddy Lucas Glover with the big win. Now there was the Scottish Open that was happening.
Yes.
And then there was another. So which turn? He didn't win the Scottish Open. Did John Rahm win that?
No.
He didn't. I forget who won. I know he had to leave for a minute. I don't know who won.
The golf media was gushing over John Rahm. Oh, he's cruising. Oh, Rahm. Oh, the number one player. Rahm. He's going to get this win before the Open Championship. So then he ended up losing.
He did. I'm looking at the leaderboard now. It was Min Woo Lee, who won from New Zealand, I believe. I think New Zealand. Yeah.
Oh wow.
18 under in a playoff with T. Detry and M. Fitzpatrick. I think that's Matt Fitzpatrick.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
Okay. Ian Poulter was fourth, and then I got Ryan Palmer in fourth, the highest American. So Rahm ended up in seventh place at 16 under.
Wow.
Okay. Well, there you go. So this tournament, I have no clue what the sponsor is or what it's named.
John Deere Classic.
The John Deere Classic. There you go. The John Deere Classic. Lucas Glover, who and we joke around a lot on this show. Domestic violence isn't funny or anything like that, but I mean,
yeah, it is when it's not you.
The views expressed by Lawrence Brooks, the views expressed by Lawrence Brooks are not the views of Golf DMV, Claude Jennings, or Vernon Brown. Anything Lawrence Brooks said, please email Lawrence Brooks at golfdmv.com. So no, but he was in the news, and we talk about it, and with the situation with him and his wife, and then his mom, this whole weird thing with the wife, getting arrested or whatever. And so now we clock Lucas to make sure that he's making enough money because we don't want him getting into trouble with his wife, basically. Right? And we want to make sure that his mom is safe as well. And he wins this tournament, and he wins just over $1 million.
Yep, 1.1.
Exactly, which should make her happy for at least 6 months. She should be good until 2022.
That's true. I wonder though, honestly, we need TMZ to do like a real, behind the scenes thing with him. Cause I'm curious, I'm assuming I think they're still married. Has he like taken her name off the deeds and stuff for the house? You know what I mean? She can't have access to the bank accounts and stuff. I mean, I really wonder what's going on in that household now.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, she had an alcohol addiction, right? And it's like, so when you combined him losing with a long night of drinking, it's just not.
Yeah, it's not a good formula. Yeah.
A lot of things don't go well with a long night of drinking. But anyway. Lucas Glover wins. We're headed to the Open Championship. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first, we've got to do our Manny Millions.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little before you leave the John Deere. Okay. I took a nap and I woke up, I think around the 14th hole or something like that. And there was a bunch of guys that was within, 1 or 2 shots to take the tournament, or at least give him some run. And they all, pooped their pants. I can't pronounce this guy, but is it Snick, the one guy? I don't know how to say his name.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah, that guy on number 17. So he was I don't know if you saw it. Did you see any of it today, Vern? Any of the tournament? Not. Okay, so he was like 1 to 2 shots back at this time of the lead. Hits his drive, it was a par 5, hits his drive into the right rough. Right. So he's got a second shot, ball is below his feet in the rough. Okay. He sets up and everything. He hits it, it goes 30 yards. I was like, see? That's what we do.
Yeah.
And that pretty much, so that took him out of contention right there because he wasn't going to birdie 18, or he definitely wasn't going to eagle. He didn't even birdie it. I think he ended up getting a bogey on, or even par at best. Go ahead, Claude.
In this tournament in particular, I saw on golf Twitter a ton of shots that made me say, "Huh, they do it too." You know what I mean? There was
exactly.
One guy who had maybe a 50-yard chip shot to the green, and he just slices it over to
the right. On number 15, Kevin Na duffed his chip. He had a chip up to get it close for birdie. He duffed it. It went like 8 feet. He had to hit again. I know that very well. Munoz, he was in a bunker he was in a rough on one side of the green. He hit out of it. It was thick rough. He hit it into the rough on the other side of the green. Like, hey, I've done that before.
To the other side of the green. Yep.
Exactly. Yep. So a lot of guys had chances to make moves, but nobody could pull it off. And you got to, as much as we, like you say earlier, as much as we joke Glover, I mean, he had 5 birdies in the last 7 holes. Ain't nothing you can say about that. Yeah,
because he finished his round early, so he posted the number, and this is the number you guys got to beat, and they couldn't beat it.
And he was and in the interview, he was trying to. He finished at 19. He went in his mind. He said, "I need to get to 20 to ensure to try and ensure the victory." That's the number he was shooting for. But 19 obviously was enough. So, and this is his first win in 10 years. One thing I noticed too, he had on. He didn't have a glove on when I turned it on, and it had rained a little bit. Yeah. And I wasn't sure if that was he normally plays without a glove or he just took it off because of the rain. But just a little thing I noticed. Okay, Manny Mills, we'll do it real quick.
Very ironic, by the way. Lucas Glover not wearing a glove.
Wearing a glove, right. And Tommy, we have Tommy Gainey 2 gloves, $60 2 gloves. Well, so
we know what that's all about.
Right, yes. So we'll do a quick Manny Millions. Again, I will talk about the PGA's website, how much your website sucks, because it wouldn't give me any information today. So we're going to go with what I have, and we'll make it work. I got enough off of Wikipedia, which I hate to use Wikipedia as my source of anything, But PGA, fix your website.
But also, we want those tour creds for BMW though. So,
But
I think
yes. I think PGA. I take back everything I just said until after we get our credentials. Okay, for the Manny Millions this week, Ted Parter Jr. came in last place at +3. He won $12,462.
Okay.
And Ted has been in this position before. I didn't go back and find my old notebook to get what I had written last time. I probably could just catalog this stuff because these guys seem to repeat as last place. So Ted Parter is 5'10", 200 pounds. He's 37 years old. He's married. He was born in Ocala, Florida, which is where? No idea. Okay. 30 miles north of the Villages. Thank you.
Okay.
Your retirement spot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, he turned pro in 2002, but he joined the PGA Tour in 2012. Okay. Ooh. Now, I'm going to give you what I got. It's not how I normally break down the numbers, but this is all I have today. He has 2 PGA wins since 2012. He has 8 top 10s. I don't know if they're first, third, second through 10th. I can't tell you, but 8 top 10s. And has played in 166 events. So that's cuts made is 166. Okay. What is his career earnings?
You won last time, Clark.
Okay. So that one last time. I'll go first. I'm going to say 7.5 million.
That's a good number. I like that number. I'll go a little bit over just to not be a chump. I'm going to say 10 mil even.
Okay, and that would be a mistake on your part because it's 6.06.
All right, you can have there too.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have no particulars about, again, because they website sucks. So that's it for that. Briefly, I would like to touch on, since we're at the John Deere Classic, the APGA is going to be at the TPC Deere Run, which is the course they play for the John Deere Classic and Deere Run John Deere Classic, which is in Silvis, Illinois, which is like 2 hours west of Chicago, in case anybody's wondering. The APGA will be there on July 19th through the 20th. So shout out to our guy JP Thornton. Wishing you well, brother. Make us proud. And I was thinking about this too. So Willie Mack, who's normally an APGA player, also made the cut, and in the John Deere Classic, he finished. I just wrote it down. He finished at -3. I think he finished like tied for 64th or something like that. But he won $13,268 for his efforts. But if he plays in the APGA tournament there next week, he should be. I would have to put him as the favorite, right? Because he's been playing the course now for all week.
Right.
And you turn right back around next week and play it again. So I would, you have to be hands down favorite, right?
Yeah, I'm just laughing thinking about he's floating in this space, man. Where like I think we said yesterday on the course that we feel like Willie probably could just go ahead, like if he could just get his card, he would secure his spot at least right now as a journeyman PGA. Not putting a ceiling on him, but at least right now he could survive. It seems to me in the PGA, making cuts and getting in there. But I'm just laughing thinking about all the homies wish him success. But then when he shows up at the APGA tour on the same course,
hold
up, cuz hold up, nah. You got to
what you doing here?
13,000? Oh no, you skip. You got to skip this one. You can't.
You're taking the spot from somebody else, man.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Oh, man. We're going to get to our Open Championship thoughts and predictions in a second. But Vern's got a story. I've got a story. I'll share mine first, then we'll go to you, Vern, with the introducing a new golfer. So for me, So I had some time today, obviously, because my mother-in-law has commandeered my house, and so I went to walk 9 holes at Paint Branch. And so nobody's out there because it's hot, you know what I mean? And so the course is wide open. I go in, I pay my little fee, get some water. I'm getting ready to tee off. And there's a gentleman, a young dude who's got a cart. By young dude, I mean he's probably around my age, maybe a little younger. He just seems that way to me. He's got a cart. He's getting ready to play. And the starter says, "Hey, do you mind if I pair you with this guy? It looks like he's ready to go." I said, "Yeah, I don't care, whatever. It's all good." So I put my tee down in the ground, getting ready to swing. And so now, and when the starter goes over to the guy, he asks him, "Hey, I'm going to pair you with this guy." And then I don't hear what the guy says in the cart. I can just see on his face he doesn't want to play with me. which is fine. I mean, he wants to play by himself, and that's cool because I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he drives his cart up. I'm like, hey, am I good to go? Or do you want to play with me? He's like, oh no, you go. Yeah, okay, cool. That's all I want to know. So I go down, and of course, strike the ball down the middle of the fairway on one. Because of course, from Paint Branch, I pay from the back tees. So I'm paying from the tips, and then I strike the ball down the fairway. He's looking, it's all good. And then I get on the green. I'm putting out. It's all, and then I go to the second hole, which is that short par 3, and the tee box for the third hole is near the green for the second hole. So I hit a wedge. I 2-putt. I'm out. I'm walking over to the third hole. Now I see this guy driving up the fairway for 9, or at least on the rough of 9, headed to the tee box for 3. Those who have played Paint Branch would kind of know that track. So I'm thinking maybe he hooked his ball on 1 all the way over there, and so he's looking for it. So anyway, he stops at the third tee box. I'm like, why does this guy stop at the third tee box? Like, he didn't even play 1 or 2. He just drove up and stopped at the third tee box. So I go to the tee box. I don't say anything to him because it's hot. I don't have time to figure him out. You know what I mean? Like, to figure out what he is. And by the way, this is not even a him thing or a golf thing. This is an overall Claude Jennings life thing in the last 4 or 3 years or so. I don't have time to figure people out. You know what I mean? I don't want to figure out where you're coming from. I don't want to figure out what's in your mind. I don't know why he drove up that way and stopped at 3. I don't care. We established at hole number 1, you weren't playing with me. So I'm not even going to ask you what you're doing up here.
As I follow this, Claude, you teed off before him, and the assumption is that he's hitting behind you.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. So, right. So in your mind, he should be going up to 3, and he should be finishing, 2 or getting off 1 or whatever he's doing.
Maybe. Right. Exactly.
All right.
So he's just sitting there in a cart near the third tee box. I just walk right past him. I go up to the tee box, and I hit it. And I walk and keep going. I don't even say anything to him. And then I putt out. I'm going up to 4, and I look back, and he starts teeing off at 3. And I'm just thinking, why didn't he play 1 and 2? But instead of asking him, I've already in my mind, I don't want to talk to this dude. Like, I don't even want to. Like, I already put him in a box, and I don't know who he is. He's probably a nice guy with a great family, but I've already put him in a box as that guy who just he's a weirdo. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to. And you guys know me. I normally don't do this to people, but I mean, it's just, isn't that weird? Am I the? Yes. That's weird, right?
That's totally weird, and I'm glad it was you, and you just would have went there, because I probably would have just kept looking at him like,
what are you doing, dude?
Why are we both here? Were you sleeping? It seems like maybe he was trying to jump ahead of you, but
maybe. But see, the thing is, he stopped at the third tee box before I was finishing putting on 2, and so he could have jumped. Because I even chipped 2 balls, thinking, okay, maybe he's just going to skip ahead and just kind of run through because I'm walking. He's got a cart, and so I dropped the second ball and chipped 2, and then putted both of them out, and he just sat there. And so I just walked right past him, got on the tee box, and hit the ball. Like, whatever. Like, let
me ask this question: Did you ever see him hit any of his swings or any of his playing?
Yes, he's not good. He's not good.
Right. Okay. So my deduction of this situation is he's a new golfer. He was embarrassed. He didn't want to play with you, and obviously he don't even know how to ride. He don't know how to follow a course yet because he skipped. Right, because he skipped over a hole. You know what I mean?
So you thinking maybe he thought 3 was 1?
He thought, or he thought 3 was 2, or whatever. You know what I mean, or something. He in his mind, he was just following you, and you had, and by the time he finished 1, you were on going 3, and he just come in behind you. See what I'm saying?
But see, I don't think he ever played 1. Because I was looking back the entire time just to kind of, because I'm always watching to see who's behind me. You know what I mean? Just to see what they're playing like. Do I need to speed up? And and no, he didn't play 1 or 2. He just went right to 3 and just sat there. So I went past him. And the thing that irritated me was from that point on, every time I'm in the fairway or in the rough and chipping up on the green, I see his cart there on the tee box, and I'm like, you wouldn't be this close to me if you would have just played the first 2 holes. Yeah. Like, and because you hate that pressure of somebody, not the pressure, but just like
somebody watching you.
Slow. Yeah, and it's like, I'm not playing slow, and I just took my time, and it's like, I got around the course. Paint Branch is so small. I got around the course in about an hour and a half, but it's like, why are you behind me?
Right. Why are you even here, dude? Right.
It's a frustrating story to hear, because like you said, it feels like you're trying to, like, now I have to deal with this guy's weirdness. behind me. This is a simple game. We count up from 1. We go to 18. If I've been on courses where it's been open and you want to jump around, but usually people who jump around do it with intention. So it's like, you know what?
Right.
I'm going to speed. Let me just jump. They'll go straight to 10 or, you know.
Well, see, and that's what I thought. And see, I thought when I was putting out on 2 and he pulls up to 3, I was thinking he was going to go to 4. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to leave 3 alone. I'm just going to go to 4. It's all good. But no, he just waited for me to go, and then he did his thing.
Yeah.
Just weird, man. Just a weirdo. So. Yeah. Anyway, Vern, what's your story? I just thought I'd share that because we have all these weird. But anyway, go ahead, Vern.
Yeah, no, that's trash. So mine isn't that big. So basically, we're just getting indoctrinating a new golfer into the game. It's just one of my favorite things. I think I was able to do it with my brother-in-law Glenn successfully. He's all the way in now. He sent me a text, by the way. He's getting fitted. Shout out to Glenn. He's gonna get fitted with irons. Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I haven't. I think at 5. I think he's gonna go with 5 iron up there in Baltimore. Shout out to the golf doctor though. We'll see how they do.
Yeah. Hey, look, just let me text Glenn. Just save your money, man. Just go to the golf doctor. Don't even waste. You know what I mean? And this is no shade on 5 iron. They might be really good people. They might know what they're doing. Yeah. But I would personally, after my experience, and I commend you, Vern. It was you were right. You heard it. Mock the tape. I said that Vern was right. Okay. Just save your money and go to the golf doctor and stop with everybody else. Yeah, just stop with everybody else. You got the Mizuno. It's no competition.
I would like to plug Golf Tech. Golf Tech's, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, John Ross.
John Ross specifically. But,
John Ross specifically. No, so really nothing to know here. Backstories: I got a co-worker of mine who dabbled in golf a long time ago. I think his mother-in-law gave him some clubs. I think they were ladies' clubs. And
clubs, they're good clubs. You can use them too.
No, he's been to a range he'd hit, but not really. So recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago, he texted me like frantically, like, "Hey man, when can you give me golf lessons?" Just out of nowhere. I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm going to Hawaii for vacation, and I booked it on a golfer's tour." I'm like, "All right." So we start. We have a conversation about it. I end up not giving him the lessons because he wanted to be careful because Hawaii has strict COVID protocol. So his whole family they basically just stayed secure until the vacation. So he does the vacation. But when he comes back, this is like I think he was gone for like 10 days. He was gone for a good amount of time. You go to Hawaii, you're not going to go for a couple of days. So he was gone for a good amount of time, and I hadn't heard from him. We usually talk once a week. And then out of nowhere, he calls back he calls me maybe, a few days after being back. Nothing about the vacation. He's like, "Hey, man, is this where's a good place to get lessons?" I was like, "What do we do?" Like almost like somebody who, I won't say like a drug addict, but like a drug addict. No, drug addict. But I mean, just like, really frantic. It's like, where should I go for this? I was like, whoa. What happened in Hawaii? What happened? I was like, because I'm going to be honest with you. When I didn't give him the lessons and he said he was going to stay on a golf resort, I figured he goes out there, he kind of messes around with the guy, this is really nice. And there's a walk, him and his old lady golf and blah, blah, blah. And that's the end of it. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of cynical about, I don't believe people are legit into golf. And there's a certain thing I have to see, which I think I saw today. So when he comes back and says he really wants to get into it, I'm like, okay. So we start talking about clubs. He ends up so now my old clubs, which were LBs, were now passed back to me, and I've now given them to him. He gave me some money. He was very surprised. I gave him the clubs. He's like, "Well, I need to order a bag, but I need to get a putter and a driver." I was like, "You don't need any of that. I will go into the pro shop and get it all for you." I brought him a driver, a wood, a wedge, and a putter. And he got these old Titleist AP1s. So today on Sunday, this is Sunday, July 11th. Mm-hmm. We were to meet up, and it was just like, "Hey, don't even look at any videos. Just come out. You're gonna we're gonna get some range balls. I'm just gonna see what you're working with." Obviously, I'm not an instructor. Anybody listening be like, "Oh, you don't teach golf?" No, duh. But the point, like when you're dealing with an abject beginner, you kind of don't need to be. You're just looking for something athletic. Like, can you swing this club around you and make contact with the ball? And you get a sense of where they are? Blah blah. So we get out there, and we the first 7 or 9. He steps up. I was like, "Just do whatever you would normally do. Do what you would do in Hawaii. Whatever. Do what you do." And he misses like a good 7 or 9 times in a row. Doesn't make contact with the ball. So we stop that. And I immediately go into my whole rhythm thing. We just start working on basic things. Brush the ground, rhythm, blah, blah, blah. But by the end, maybe 3/4 of the way through our hitting, he hits one pure. And I swear I've seen this before. I swear to God, because he's frustrated and he's doing something. Okay, you keep your arms in, rotate, blah blah blah. He's listening to what I'm doing, and he's being totally cool. But when he clipped it, that perfect impact, his eyes lit up when he went through as he followed through the shot and saw the ball in the air. And the on his face was legit surprised that like I just swung that very slow. Like I just great clip feel, and the ball just sailed. And he didn't. So he gets a couple tops, and then he does it maybe 2 or 3 more times. And each time he still has the look on his face, and I said, "I think we got one." I think we're good.
Yeah, the hook is in.
The hook is in. He said, and then just to be sure, because I didn't do this with Glenn, I actually went to the putting green at Lake Presidential. Shout out to Lake Presidential. You can just walk up to the putting green if you got your balls, and you just practice. Went to the putting green and just to make sure, see if he had any touch, because I think that one of the first times I went out with Glenn, he was like blowing, he had like no touch whatsoever and was blowing things past. Now he's one of the best putters in the group, I would say, Claude, because he's been practicing in the house. So this is my buddy's friend's name is Mike. So his touch on the green was pretty good, but he also got a golf lesson. So he got to experience the shot. But we went on the putting green, and I told him, I said, Mike, you're gonna lose all your strokes on and around this object here, this putting green. Chipping. There were people chipping. You didn't chip, but there were other guys chipping, and there was one guy who was particularly good. I pointed to him. I just was like, you see what he's doing? He was like teardropping the balls in there. I just talked about that. And then we went on putting green to start putting, and he got a golf lesson where I put him 6 feet out and said, just show me what you do. So he said, all field, whatever's comfortable. Does it, gets within like an inch each time, holds one. I'm like, okay. Move him back to 25 feet out. Blows the first one by into the fringe. And I said, oh, here we go. So the joy I saw in the range was great. And then now he blows it by and he's like, no, give me another. So I gave him another ball. And the next one, he leaves like 15 feet short.
Yeah.
And I thought, bro, everybody listening to me should know, when he hit that second one and it went like 6 feet in front of him and he stood up, the confusion on his face was universal. It's the same thing you see from Justin Thomas when they top it.
Yeah.
Same thing you see from who's that, Kevin Na. I was like, this is the purity of golf. This is the thing that connects everyone. He's only been out here for 10 minutes already. Because he stood up like he was perplexed at the ball. Right.
Yeah, like why didn't they go in?
What happened? And then after some putts, we got his lagging together, and he figured out like, oh, okay, this is why putting is important. But so that was it. The look in his eye though, when he took that one perfect, I was like, we might. And then of course when we finished, we go back to the car and we're talking. He's like, yeah, so I think I'm gonna start coming out here every week. So he asked me, he's like, can I just come up to the range and just bring my own balls? I said, no.
Oh no.
Gotta teach you the protocol.
Right. There is a business. They run into business here.
Yeah. Well, because when we came there was maybe a half bucket on the range there, so we just went ahead and hit those. I said, if you come in and you see balls on the range, by all means, but if they're yellow, they'll be range balls. Otherwise, go in and buy them. But you can putt with your own balls. So next weekend, next Sunday, after we play Lake Pres, which I'm happy to say we'll be doing. After we play Lake Pres, I'll see him that Sunday, and we'll go through it again. So now I'm gonna give him some homework assignments. I'm gonna send him some basic chipping things and some rhythm stuff. Super simple, nothing crazy. And then we'll see where he's at next week. And then he said he wants to jump in with us when we do one of our like a MoCo, like a sort of an easy round.
Okay. Right,
just sort of, probably just be more riding with us, but just hit occasionally and just kind of the world.
Does he have kids?
He does, but they're older. His kids are old. His kids are like, one's going to college.
Oh, okay.
Other one's in junior. Yeah. So his kids are older.
Okay, cool.
He has 3.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So we got the Open Championship coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to it. Golf early in the morning. That's going to be good to get up in the morning.
This is going to be early. It's going to be early, late. It's going to be early, like the 6 o'clock in the morning type stuff.
Yeah, they're
even earlier than that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I get up early for work, so I'm going to enjoy it.
I don't. Yeah.
You can always watch the replays, I guess.
Yeah.
Early favorites. Who are we looking at? What are you guys thinking?
Okay, so early favorites are the usuals, right? We're looking at like so Shane, just so everybody knows, let's just real quick recap. Royal St. George's. Royal St. George's where we're at this year for the Open Championships, par 70, not 72, 7,200 yards. And I think it was the first golf course in England to host the Open Championship. I believe is 1894. I'm looking at my little stat sheet here. Defending champ. There was no Open Championship last year because of COVID, but defending champ is Shane Lowry.
What a bum. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right, cool.
Okay. There's another guy you hate for the reasons we don't know.
No, I don't hate him, but he won and he ain't done squat since. He been, you know what I mean? He's been MIA since that win. But go ahead.
That's so hard.
Golf is so beat to family. He won the Open Championship. Hasn't done anything since. It's just this is sort of a microcosm of our game. When we go out and we're playing like trash the whole time, and then Clark gets on in 2 on the 5 and immediately forgets everything.
Right.
Right.
It's the same thing. But no, yeah, Shane Lowry's defending champ. So John Rahm is an early favorite, I guess, for the style course. I just want to say real quick, the course itself, like what it's known for, they all have characteristics. Royal St. George's has like a lot of undulating terrain, very like bouncy, like knobs and stuff like that produces unpredictable bounces and crazy deep bunkers, which is kind of, it's kind of Europe's thing, but like crazy deep bunkers. So got nice seaside views and everything else. But yeah, John Rahm right now is appears to be one of the favorites. And let me see. And Bryson DeChambeau, just so you know, just side note, has a new caddy.
Of course he does.
Yeah, Brian Dickler.
Needs one because the other one left him.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So I think Rahm is sort of like number one right now in terms of betting favorites, whatever. But I'm trying to get my list here. If you can't tell, I'm having some trouble.
I think we're going to. Well, I just think we're going to. Here's my prediction. I don't know exactly who it's going to be, but I think we're going to get a first-time major winner.
Yep.
And it's going to be from Europe. It's going to be a European.
You think it's going to be European? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
That probably makes sense. Yeah. So, wasn't enough filibusters. LB, what do you got?
Okay. So while you're doing that, I'm going to switch quickly to the LPGA because there's something I did want to talk about.
Okay.
The LPGA was at the Marathon LPGA Classic, which was in Ohio this weekend. They only played 3 rounds because the 4th round was cut because of the severe weather they had in the Midwest this week. NASA Hata, man, I hate to screw up these people's names.
Yeah. Well,
NASA
H.
Yeah, NASA H. Hataka, I think something like that.
Okay.
She won. She was at -19. She won $300,000. But here's the stuff I wanted to get to.
Okay.
So I went and looked at her stats for the weekend for the 3 rounds that they played. Her fairways hits. She was 37 out of 42 fairways for the week. 32 out of 47.
37 out of 42?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 37 out of 42.
5 fairways. Got it.
Yes. Yeah, 5 fairways. Her average driver distance 266.
Yeah.
That's decent.
Good.
Average putts per round 27.
Right.
Greens and regulations 48 out of 54.
Right.
Greens and regulations for the 3 rounds. I mean, that's why she was -19. I mean, you hit 37 out of 42 fairways. Come on, what we doing here, man? You know what I'm saying? I hit 4 out of 14.
Yeah, I think those greens and regulations are important. Although Glenn said for amateurs, he thinks maybe fairways hit probably kind of a bogus stat, which I probably tend to agree with him. Like, right, because like we hit a good shot and you're in like the first cut or the right rough or whatever. That technically, if we were on the tour, that wouldn't be a fairway hit. But for us, fairway hit basically means do you have a good lie with a look at the green? Basically, can you put a good shot?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Firstly, if you pop it into the fairway, I mean that's a fairway hit. But what's the significance of that? I think greens and regulation probably for us.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think they correlate though, because for at least in my statistics that I've been trying to track more as of late is. Yeah. When I have a greens and regulation, when I do get a green and regulations, because I was in the fairway.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than not, I'm in the fairway because if I'm in a rough, then it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, not that it still happens, but it doesn't happen.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when I got on 18 on that par 5, it was because I was in the fairway.
You was in the fairway, right? Exactly. Yeah, because on that same hole, we were about the same distance, but I was in the rough, and I didn't have a prayer to try and get to it.
We were about the same distance. I was further, but that's fine.
Whatever. I said about. I didn't say I was. Man, okay. Now we can go. You want to go back to hole number 3 where I blitzed all of y'all in the fairway? Do we want to talk about that drive? Is that what we want to do now? Oh, okay. But to say, I can, because I got my scorecard here. And then I put circles around those ones. I can tell you which one. So
we're all supposed to bring it together, but secretly everybody keeps track of everybody else's mistakes. So
right, exactly. They're trying to throw shade.
It's really quick. The top 5. So obviously I didn't get a chance. So I've been doing a lot of editing lately, with a lot of video stuff. We'll have some videos coming out from Bull Run, so I didn't get to do my full gambling workup for the Open Championship, which is not great because it's one of my favorite. I think it's probably my favorite major. John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, Dustin, Bryson, interestingly, which I don't know how they have him in there, and Brooks Koepka. these are betting favorites. But I think there's
I don't think. I would bet. I would take a bet that none of those guys win.
I might bet with Rom. I would rock with Rom. Like you said, European. I think he has a good chance. Dustin hasn't really been doing too much.
Nope.
And I'd sprinkle some money on Rory McIlroy as like a long, like somebody nobody's thinking about, because right now, I mean, he's at 11-1 as of right now, but I think that might go. I think that might go up because I feel like these other guys are going to get hit more. But there's definitely some value down there to be had. Justin Rose, Shane Lowry down there 40-1. I mean, that's put something on there. So definitely go do your research. But I am looking forward to it this Thursday at 3 a.m. or whenever it starts.
So, someone who's been hot but fallen short all year has been Louis Oosthuizen.
Oh,
maybe,
that's true.
Maybe some value there.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
He won an Open Championship before, so he wouldn't be a first-time winner from Europe. But I mean, I'm thinking Louis might be. I would think maybe Louis. I still feel like Tommy Fleetwood's going to break through at some point.
You still holding on to your Fleetwood stock.
I'm
not going to sell it. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to
it. I'm looking at the British Open alternates. I'm sorry, and apparently Matt Wolff is not going to play in it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So obviously again, it was very busy before I jumped on. I didn't get the show notes. I did want to highlight the like LB said, some big name withdrawals. So Hideki Matsuyama, if you didn't know.
Yes.
Bubba Watson.
Because of COVID. I didn't know Bubba withdrew. And then Matt Wolff withdrew and hasn't said, at least as of right now. I know I saw the news late last night. I hadn't seen a reason, which not that I need one. I'm not trying to withdraw. But yeah, some high profile withdrawals. You said Bubba Watson too, Claude?
Yeah, Bubba Watson's coming out. Brandon Steele is taking his place. And Harold Varner is getting Hideki's spot.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. These other guys, Antonio Rozier is replacing
I'm excited about
somebody named Lee. I don't know who that is. And Andy Sullivan is replacing Matt Wolff. And John Catlin is replacing David Duval, who shouldn't even be playing anyway. You know what I mean? I understand he won it back in the day, but I mean, dude, he can't hit the side of a barn with a golf ball. Why is he even, still trying to play golf anymore? Just stay in the booth and do your thing, man.
Golf has a lot of pressure as it is, but I do wonder what it's like to be like chilling at your house, having either just missed a cut or whatever. Because those names you just mentioned, I don't know what they did. And then you get a call like, "Hey, Matt Wolff isn't going. You're going to the Open Championship."
Right.
Like
gotta be dope.
Yeah, you're excited, but then it's probably you have to do everything you can to keep the. Because at least me, I would be thinking like this is a sort of it's an opportunity that I don't want to waste.
Well, to that point now, the guy, and I'm gonna try and remember which guy it was. At the John Deere, because he came in toward the top, it wasn't Ryan Moore, it wasn't Scott Brown. What's the guy's name?
What happened?
I'm looking at the list. Well, because of his finish, they were saying that he would be invited to the Open.
Okay.
But so that means, but they were saying he's going to basically he's going to have to go home and kiss his wife and get on the plane and leave, to get over there.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
Right, and the guy was like,
I got a chance to watch it. He usually has a quick turnaround. Yep.
Yeah, but they were saying the guy, but they asked the guy, and he was like, well, if it's offered to me, I'm not going.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, whatever. No, I'm not doing it. I don't think it may have been Ryan Moore, or because it was somebody in the top. It wasn't Scott Brown. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Scott Brown. It may have been Ryan Moore.
Ooh, I don't know. That's kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, they reported during the telecast that if he said that if he's offered it, that he's not going. So I don't, I don't know what the reason, but I didn't catch the reason. Again, I was taking a nap, so I may have missed it.
So last thing, Claude, I just want to update from last week. I was trying to get some video stuff with our friend, the Boss Golfs, Charles from the Boss Golfs. Go check out his Instagram profile. He listened to our show last week when I asked about the Detroit and, how did these courses, when they're picked, are they heavily, micromanaged by the tour and about what the score is and blah, blah, blah. You can go back to the last show and listen to my rant there. And he did confirm that they are. So I just want to read what he DM'd us. He said the PGA monitors, assists in managing and establishes the way the course will play before they arrive. And the closer they get to playing, the more involved they get. They essentially manage the course to fall in a particular range and by chance, the course may get them, it'll work one way or the other. He said Cog Hill was a favorite on tour, and then they did a redesign to make it tougher, and the players hated it for being hard, and it got dropped. And it got dropped. So, and he's got more in there, which I'm just going to skip through really quick. Oh, here we go. The old superintendent at Woodmore Country Club, which is out here in Maryland, it's a private club in PG County, said that back in the day, the Corn Fair used to come out a year in advance just to tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, and what you need to fix, pH balance, draining issues, all types of stuff.
Wow.
And the closer they got, the more management they did, and they would partner and work with you pretty much during the week. He said the PGA Tour, it's on another level, but so many courses, they get the opportunity, I guess, take it. But it's just very, very highly stressful. And he said the U.S. Open is just scary no matter what the situation is, which that part I get. But that does answer my question. So these tour stops, it's not unspoken. They must go to these courses and be like, you've been selected. We're down to let you give you a shot. You're going to play around 15 to 18, 18 under or better.
Yeah, this is what you're going to do.
Exactly. So if I'm the superintendent at the Detroit Golf Club where the Rocket Mortgage is held, and I feel some kind of way, and I'm going to come out there and make it play tough next year, that's going to be the last year it's going to be there. Right. That's wild. I didn't think about that, man. That's wild, but I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, folks. So as you can see from my video, it's getting dark outside.
There
have been people who left my house. Not everybody's gone, but there have been people who left my house. I'll have an update on all this foolishness next week, along with the Open Championship. It's Golf DMV, folks.